asked you to take the picture of your dog down. It's ugly. I don't think this is my chair. Who stole my chair? Mark. I asked you to take the picture of your dog down. It's ugly. I don't think this is my chair. Who stole my chair? Mark. I told her to take the picture of her dog down. She has it. It's distracting to me. Thank you. Hi.
Hey.
I hate to say this again, but I actually don't hate it that much. The way you're typing on the keyboard is extremely bothersome to me. Has to stop. No one wants to see March Madness right now. Stop changing my channel from The View.
Hi.
Who keeps buying the Cheeto Puffs? Stop buying the Cheeto Puffs. Keurig's broken. Oh my gosh. Shrimp. No more microwaving shrimp. Don't do it.
I'm not a big fan of labels and don't necessarily like the term Karen, although I understand where it came from. But this video just kind of goes into a lot of people ranting about their experiences dealing with people like that lady. Let's get into it.
Imagine being old. Imagine being a Karen. Combine them into one, old Karen. I'm going to tell you about this old Karen that works at the company that rents out the same building that my company rents out. We share the same space, obviously, like the same building. We have different rooms though, but on the same level. We share a break room, right? So 12:20 comes around, I go in during my lunch. I'm like using the microwave, enjoying my soup. Not even 2 minutes after my first bite, the door opens. Karen peeks her head in. Hi, I just wanted to let you know that this man comes in here at 12:30 every single day and eats his lunch by himself. I was like, okay. I was shocked. Like, I was actually in shock. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm almost done. I wasn't almost done. I still had I'm a slow eater. I still had 30 minutes left of my meal. But this lady came in here and disturbed my lunch so I can get up and let her boss come in and take over the shared break room.
One of my favorite things about working in the food service industry is when people come up to you pissed off about something, right? And they say something like, you see this? Would you be happy if you received this? Would you be happy if this is how your food came out? Because I'm always just like, Susan, I don't give a fuck, okay? Just tell me you're not happy with it. Tell me what's wrong with it, and I'll go get you a new one, okay? But why do you have to sit there and ask me some hypothetical question like, what would you do if you were in that situation? Girl, I wouldn't be eating here, okay? You're the dumbass that came to a B-rate chain restaurant and ordered the ribeye steak thinking you were going to get some high-quality piece of cow like you're in some Vegas steakhouse, okay? What the hell did you think was gonna happen? Or better yet, when they say that their food is cold and they go, here, touch it, feel how cold it is. It's like, no, I'm not touching your fucking food that you just bit into, okay? For what reason would I have to not believe you? I don't need to shove my finger into your half-eaten burger to believe you that it's cold. I'll go get you a new one. Just calm down.
Every single person should experience customer service or hospitality work at some point in their lives in order to be going out into the real world, because I swear people are so entitled. Quote, the customer is always right is what's wrong with society. I had a lady that called today about a reservation that she booked in January that was now canceled because we didn't receive a deposit. And she calls checking in on it thinking she had it. We don't. We only had, I think we had other rooms, but not the rooms she booked. And the first thing she says when I tell her that we don't have her reservations anymore, and she's like, are you serious? I was never told about any of this. Mind you, we say everything about this. When we make the reservation and when we cancel them, we let them know that they're canceled. But no, she claims that she didn't get any of this and was never told that her room was canceled. It was never told that she had to pay her deposit on time. What do you think? We're just going to give you a free room? We go back and forth. I give her every possible solution that I can. I offer her some other rooms in other areas, but no, she needed the 2 rooms that she booked previously because they were a specific room type. I said, we don't have those. We just don't. There's no way. I can't kick people out of the rooms. And then she proceeds to tell me, well, you know what? You're not being very good customer service wise, and I don't think you're being creative enough. And you're not helping me find a solution, and I'm very disappointed with your service. I always freeze up sometimes here because this makes no sense. It's like, I just gave you all of the solutions and you're saying that there's no solutions. And this one hit me the most. She then goes on to say, Well, I think that if I was there in front of the system, if I somehow was able to look at your system, I'd be able to find a way. Like, lady, no, you could not. There is no other way. You fucked up, you didn't pay your deposit, and that's it. There's no clever solution. This isn't my fault. This is your fault. And like, you can't take accountability for it. It's just crazy. But the amount of mental gymnastics that this lady and many more that I've talked to have to go through in order to not feel any ounce of accountability is crazy. And if people just worked at some point in their lives a hospitality or a service job, they would understand this and they wouldn't be such entitled Karens.
The thing about it is there are a lot of people who, like for me, there's a lot of situations in life where I feel like everybody should have experienced it. Now, I'm sure some of you will disagree with me, but I think every young man, once he turns 18, should do at least a year, 2 years in the military. I think it should be mandatory. I went in the military at the age of 19, and it taught me a lot about teamwork, camaraderie. It taught me a lot about responsibility, discipline. There's a whole lot of areas. So even in this situation, I think a lot of people that have never had empathy or understanding towards people that work in these industries, they can have a tendency to kind of treat you like crap. And not everybody's like this, but there's a large portion of society that looks at it this way, like they're better than you. Like you need to find a way to make this right when they're the one that screwed up. You know what I mean?
Let me step away. I put myself at lunch. I don't usually rant about my job, but today I got a motherfucking rant. Tell me how I get this patient, right? And mind you, my job is literally just to kind of like schedule delivery for people to get their medications. That is literally the whole shit. It's the whole thing. Okay, cool. So I call this lady. We already start off on the bad foot because I mispronounced her last name. Now I get it because as being African American and my name being Sheree, I get it. But at the same time, I'm not Italian and your last name is hella Italian. There are sounds that I would have to make in the back of my throat for me to say that properly. So I don't know what you want me to do. So she already has an attitude because she had talked to previous reps who did not, put things in motion the way they were supposed to put things in motion. So she had attitude about me saying her name wrong. She picked up the phone even though she obviously did not want the medication at the time because it was supposed to be put on hold. All right, cool. Whatever. Tell me how she gonna try to make, literally was trying to come for me and I don't understand why you can't comprehend what I'm saying. Excuse me, Karen. Excuse me, Karen, because that's what you're acting like, Karen. That has nothing to do with me, okay? I don't know what type of bad day you're having. I don't know if you're currently in a bad mood, whatever, but you're not going to take it out on me. Because at the end of the day, I am the gatekeeper to your motherfucking medication. So guess what? Say I fuck up, and I hit cancel on that motherfucker. You're going to have to call your doctor and get a whole new script sent in. I would never do that, but it's you don't realize that you're talking to someone you're trying to get something from them. You're trying to get something from my company. And so at the end of the day, be nice to your customer service rep. Just don't be rude because there's 1,000,001 motherfucking ways that we could fuck your shit up, but we don't. So, and we're literally working here to pay our own bills so we can do our own shit. At the end of the day, you wouldn't want somebody to come in your job and start literally berating you over something that had nothing to do with you. You ain't never talked to this person before in your life, so don't do it to other people. That's not annoying. That messed up my whole vibe.
I think that would be common sense, right? That people would have that understanding. Wrong.
Let me tell y'all, this lady just cussed me clean out, told me where to go and how to get there. Let me tell you something, I let her. When I tell you I have no capacity for people who are unhinged nowadays, even at work, it's just lady, I do not receive the energy that you are giving me right now. So she called in, I gave her my reading. Hello, my name is, thank you for calling in to so-and-so. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Oh, let me tell you right now, it's not going to be a pleasure to speak with me. And from then on, I knew what type of time we were on. And one thing that my previous work experience has taught me is that when people start going off like that, to shut the entire up and let them go. And that's what I just did. Let me tell you, I actually put this thing on mute because let me tell you, I have this physical reaction from being yelled at, from it's a childhood thing, that I'll start shaking. So while she was yelling at me, I was shaking like this. Not because I was like scared of her, I was scared and terrified of me. I know me so well that I know that if I don't keep myself in check, all hell's going to break loose. She went on to tell me how she has spoken to my entire team, how she is so unhappy. We are so incompetent, how people are not taking her issues seriously, and blase split. And she started to tell me, you all can't listen. So what's going to happen today is that I'm going to talk, you're going to listen. When I say you can speak, then you will speak. Still, I'm silent. I'm just letting her go. She also told me that if I could not keep up, don't ask her to repeat herself because she's not. And I was just waiting for her to ask for a supervisor. I'm just like, I'm not about to deal with you. Like, who are you? Who do you actually think you are? Because if she would have asked when I was like, excuse me for 2 seconds, let me just get you on over. But no, she wanted to rain hell on me. So this went on for about a good 5 minutes. I just let her go. When I tell you I let her go, I let her have a ball. It was so quiet that it was moments where I was so quiet that she had to check back in because she thought I was going to interrupt her because she kept saying, y'all keep interrupting me. I'm like, ma'am, you have the full stage right now. Go off, queen. So when she allowed me to speak and said, you have permission to speak now, I said, okay. First thing, I want to apologize that you've had this experience with us to where you feel so strongly about your concern. I said, but in order for me to help you, you're going to have a mutual respect from me and this entire situation for me to properly and accurately help you. She cut me off mid-sentence and said, save your effing bull.
Wow.
And I need help right now. I don't care about your theatrics and what you're saying to me right now. And I told her, I said, that's the thing. In order for me to help you properly, you're not going to tell me when I'm going to speak. If I have a question, I'm going to ask it. You're not going to limit me as if I'm a fucking child. Like,
I totally get being upset and wanting things to be right. I mean, I can't only tell you the stories about dealing with customer service issues. So you get to a point where you probably start off nice, but by the time you get to that level of the lady he's talking about, it's usually because you've been given the runaround. So for her to call immediately coming off in a nasty tone, if that's actually what happened, I don't think that's the right way to handle things.
Who do y'all really think y'all are to be calling a grown-ass person on this phone telling me when I can and cannot speak? Like, I understand. This is how I know that y'all really need friends in real life. Y'all need a therapist or whatever y'all need. Because the fact that you really thought that you was getting ready to call in and get some kind of results, that's how I know you really wasn't result-centered. You probably just wanted to call in the bitch and complain, and that's okay. But say that with your chest. Don't call in acting like you are God's gift to this green earth and that whatever you say is going to go. First of all, I could have disconnected this phone call the moment you started telling me what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. I could have then, but I decided to give you grace and I decided to lead with my good foot and not allow my past self to become my present self. I said, I'm going to give her a chance to redeem herself. I said, you know what? First, let me just tell you in a calm voice. I was so calm, I surprised me. I was so calm, I was scared of me. That's how calm I was. I told her, I said, for this to work, that's not going to happen. And that was her chance to fix it. So what I did was, as she's talking, I'm just documenting because I am not about to lose it over y'all. I'm not. Y'all not finna. I'm at home chilling. And that's why you really mad, because you can tell I'm at home. So I'm not about to allow you to project all that negativity onto me. So as soon as I said what I said about like it's going to be a mutual respect, and she's going to be a bull ass this and bull ass that, you have 1, 2, 3 seconds to disconnect this phone call, or I will. You have 3 seconds to stop talking to me like you have lost your motherfucking mind, or I will disconnect this phone call. And look at God, she did it for me. That's how I know she just wanted some attention. So I emailed my supervisor like, listen, I just had a like crazy customer gave her the case number, everything like that. But I'm just like, I just want y'all to have this in documentation because people would love to spin stuff and say that you were a certain kind of way. That's why I was going to come to you first, give you the case so you can go listen to how loony this Karen was on my fucking phone. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, who raised y'all? And she felt so justified because she felt like she had been through so many hula hoops that first off, there is no type of behavior in the world that's warranted because you feel like you're not being taken seriously. No, if you have to keep repeating yourself over and over again, keep on doing it until you shouldn't have to. I agree with that. However, you don't talk to no grown ass person thinking that you better get some results. I was, baby, especially not me.
I hate people. Oh my god. This bitch comes in today and she's like red-faced for some. I don't know if she was already pissed or I don't know what was fucking going on with her. She might have been an Oompa Loompa, all I know. But anyway, she comes in and she's like, so I bought some ferns 2 weeks ago and they're on sale now, so like, can I get the sales price? And I'm like, no. And she's like, do you guys not do that anymore? And I'm like, I've worked here a year, we've never done that. And she's like, can I speak to a manager? I'm like, okay, Karen, sure, all right. So I get my manager, he comes over and he goes, what's the problem? And I told him, and he goes, okay. And he gives her $29 back for, I think she bought like 4 or 5 ferns. I'm like, are you actually shitting me? This bitch got $29 back because a sale happened within 90 days after she bought it. That's so stupid. Like, okay, maybe that's a thing and I'm just naive and I didn't know that. But if you miss a sale or you buy something before a sale, tough nuggets, bitch. Like, that's not, like, what? Why would you have that in your She's like, I know you match prices. I'm like, well, you already bought it. Like, you literally, she had a card with her. She had a really bad attitude. And so when she leaves, I said something to my manager. I'm like, we do that? That seems so stupid to me. And he goes, I just didn't want to deal with her today. Like, I'm already in a bad mood. So many people have called off. I just wanted to give it to her. So it's not in the policy. We're not supposed to do it? Or, like, oh my God. I hate it. And then I don't understand why it's so hard for people to grasp the concept of, like, you're using a screen to do everything. And at the end of the screen use, it says, how do you want your receipt? Printed or both? Printed and emailed. And people just go and stare at it. And then they go, I'm not getting a receipt. Read. You've spent the last 2.5 minutes reading the screen. Why can you not read it now? Like, it's a little fucking picture too. It's like, the way to make you a bitter, depressed, sad, people-hating person is to work retail. My dear God. Oh my gosh. And I know everybody who works retail deals with this. I know I'm not a rarity or anything like that. I just wanted to complain for a minute because I just honestly can't. And then, like, the people who come in and they're like, why is this not working, this gift card? And I'll, like, swipe it and I'll be like, there's no money on it. And they'll be like, no, there's the money on it. I've only used it once. I'm like, well, I guess you used all of it because there's no money on it. Please speak to a manager. And you know what the manager's going to say? And you know what the manager did say? There's no money on it, Deborah. Go the fuck home. Like, oh my God.
Let me tell you about another Karen that I just encountered and how you deal with them to, like, make them feel like they just shut them down. So y'all know how I'm working in a deli with the food and all this. So I'm talking to a manager about a chicken that they got to take. This customer gonna walk in front of the hot bar and start looking at the food like she's like, like we in the way or something. She started looking at the food and then she started asking for the bone-in wings. And then she was like, that comes with a meal, right? Was she done this before? Because she knows. I told her, yeah. So with the meal, that comes with size. So I asked her, what size did you want? She started looking at the size and say, ew! Like, really loud in front of the managers and everybody. And I'm just looking at her like, my friend asking me how many sizes because they're about to print out the tag for me. And I'm just like, I don't even know yet. So I asked the lady again, what size did you want? she just looking around saying, ew. Like, she kept saying, ew, just like that. And I'm just like, bruh, if you don't want the food, I didn't even make no reactions. I didn't even make no response when she did it. I was just like, just looking at her, waiting for the answer. And she eventually told me, just give me the wedgies and give me some mac and cheese. And she making a little scrunched up face. I just gave her the tag and kept it moving. She ain't said nothing else after that. Like, you can't entertain them. If you don't entertain them, they just gonna go ahead about their business, but they ain't get the satisfaction that they wanted.
You know, somebody help me out here. I'm trying to remember, when did this term Karen hit the scene? How many years has it been? And who was the first person that they ever labeled a Karen? I'm asking y'all because I don't know. You know, I know some people hate names like that because they look at it like you're calling a person out of their name. So it's funny how we've kind of normalized that term Karen. I get it. I understand where it comes from. And, you know, just like the majority of us, people like that get under my skin too. And I've dealt with them in just about every profession I've been in. And it's annoying. And the best way to deal with people like that is to ignore them. They're very narcissistic, and you're better off just going with the flow. And if you're able to be in a position where you don't have to deal with them, don't even deal with them. It's amazing how many videos I have seen probably over the last 10 years where, and they always try to make it out that it's just women that react this way. No, I've seen men react the same way. Black, white, I mean, I've seen the whole gamut. So that's probably where the term Karen came from, because maybe the initial was a woman. But what are we going to call the men that act this way? Because I've seen some videos of some men acting a fool too. What do we call them? Keiths? Kevins? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like this video. Also, make sure you share it. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, I love you guys, and I will check you on the next one. Later.